Did you know that some of the most profound wisdom in Stoicism comes not from Seneca, Epictetus, or Marcus Aurelius, but from a teacher many have forgotten, Musonius Rufus? This overlooked philosopher lived his philosophy with such conviction that his teachings resonate as deeply today as they did in ancient Rome. His ideas on resilience, virtue, and living in harmony with nature have the power to transform your life. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why Musonius Rufus is one of Stoicism's greatest, yet least celebrated figures. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to help support our journey in sharing Stoic wisdom. And watch until the end for a life-changing insight from Musonius Rufus. Number 1. Who was Musonius Rufus? Musonius Rufus was a Roman Stoic philosopher from the 1st century AD. Often referred to as the Roman Socrates, he believed in living in accordance with nature and applying philosophy to everyday life. While not as widely remembered as Marcus Aurelius or Seneca, his impact was profound, especially on his student Epictetus. Unlike many philosophers of his time, Musonius emphasized action over theory. He argued that true philosophy isn't about intellectual exercises but about how you live your life. His teachings were practical, focusing on daily habits and ethical decisions. For example, he believed in simplicity in food and possessions, rejecting excess as a distraction from virtue. Musonius was no stranger to hardship. Exiled multiple times by Roman emperors, he practiced what he preached, embracing adversity with grace and resilience. His life is a testament to the Stoic belief that external circumstances cannot rob us of our inner peace. One of his key lessons was that philosophy isn't for leisure, it's for life. Whether you're facing challenges at work, dealing with relationships, or pursuing personal growth, his ideas are as applicable today as they were 2 millennia ago. Through his unwavering commitment to virtue, Musonius taught that wisdom is not just knowing what is right, but consistently doing it. His life invites us to reflect: are we merely reading about Stoicism, or are we truly living it? Number 2. The foundation of his philosophy. Central to Musonius Rufus's philosophy was the Stoic principle of living according to nature. For him, this meant aligning our actions with reason and the natural order of the world. He believed that humans, as rational beings, are meant to live virtuously and harmoniously with one another. Musonius often used practical examples to illustrate his teachings. For instance, he argued that just as a horse thrives when it fulfills its natural purpose of running, humans thrive when they live virtuously. This perspective encouraged his followers to focus on their moral character rather than external rewards. He also emphasized moderation, especially in food and lifestyle. Musonius taught that overeating or indulging in luxury weakens the body and corrupts the soul. In one of his most famous quotes, he said, "To live simply is to live freely." Imagine applying this today by simplifying your routines to focus on what truly matters. Another key element of living according to nature was equality. Musonius believed that philosophy wasn't reserved for elite men, but was for everyone, including women and the less privileged. This progressive view was revolutionary for his time and remains inspiring today. Through his teachings, Musonius reminds us to look inward. Are our actions aligned with our values? Are we living in harmony with ourselves and others? These questions challenge us to rethink our priorities in a world often focused on external success. Number 3. The role of hardship. For Musonius Rufus, hardship was not an obstacle, but an opportunity. He believed that adversity was a natural part of life and the best training ground for developing virtue. This Stoic perspective resonates deeply with the modern emphasis on resilience and grit. He often compared enduring hardship to physical training. Just as athletes grow stronger by pushing their limits, individuals become more virtuous by facing challenges head-on. Musonius himself exemplified this principle during his repeated exiles, using those moments to strengthen his character rather than succumb to despair. One of his most famous teachings is that enduring pain for a noble cause is preferable to living comfortably without purpose. He argued that avoiding difficulty leads to a life of mediocrity, whereas embracing it builds strength, courage, and wisdom. Consider modern parallels. Whether it's navigating a tough career decision, overcoming personal loss, or pursuing a challenging goal, we often grow the most during difficult times. Musonius's teachings encourage us to see these moments not as burdens, but as opportunities to cultivate resilience. His perspective on hardship challenges us to reframe our struggles. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we should ask, "What can I learn?" This shift in mindset can transform how we approach life's inevitable difficulties. Number 4, practical lessons for modern life. Musonius Rufus's teachings are rich with practical advice that remains relevant today. One of his core beliefs was the importance of simplicity in all aspects of life. He argued that excess, whether in material possessions, food, or ambition, distracts us from living virtuously. In modern terms, this aligns with the minimalist movement, which advocates decluttering our lives to focus on what truly matters. Musonius believed that by removing distractions, we could devote ourselves to self-improvement and meaningful relationships. Another practical lesson is the value of self-discipline. Musonius taught that mastering our desires is essential to achieving inner peace. For example, he encouraged his students to eat only what is necessary, arguing that overeating dulls the mind and weakens the body. He also stressed the importance of community. Musonius believed that we are inherently social beings and that our happiness depends on our contributions to others. Imagine applying this by prioritizing acts of kindness or volunteering in your local community. His teachings serve as a guide for navigating modern life. In a world dominated by consumerism and instant gratification, Musonius challenges us to focus on what truly matters: our character, our relationships, and our pursuit of virtue. Number 5, why Musonius Rufus deserves recognition today. Despite his profound influence on Stoicism, Musonius Rufus remains relatively unknown. Yet his teachings have shaped some of the most celebrated Stoic thinkers, including Epictetus, who referred to Musonius as his teacher and guide. One reason for his obscurity is that much of his work survives only in fragments, passed down through the writings of others. However, these fragments are enough to reveal the depth and practicality of his philosophy. Musonius's emphasis on action over theory is perhaps his greatest contribution. He showed that philosophy isn't an abstract discipline, but a way of life. His teachings challenge us to not just read about virtue, but to live it daily. In a fast-paced world filled with distractions, Musonius Rufus offers a countercultural message: slow down, simplify, and focus on what truly matters. His wisdom is a beacon for anyone seeking to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. By rediscovering Musonius Rufus, we honor not only his legacy, but also the timeless principles of Stoicism. His teachings remind us that the path to a good life is through virtue, resilience, and harmony with nature. Number 6, Musonius on the education of women. Musonius Rufus was one of the earliest advocates for the education of women, a stance that was groundbreaking in his time. While much of Roman society considered women unworthy of philosophical training, Musonius argued that women possess the same rational capabilities as men and should therefore pursue virtue and wisdom. He believed that virtue was universal, applying equally to all humans regardless of gender. Women, he claimed, were just as capable of practicing courage, justice, and self-control as men. He often asked his students, if virtue is necessary for a good life, why should women be excluded from it? This question was radical in a society that relegated women to domestic roles. Musonius's teachings on gender equality extended to practical matters as well. He believed that an educated woman was better equipped to manage her household, contribute to society, and raise virtuous children. This perspective aligns with modern discussions on the value of educating women to benefit both families and communities. He also challenged stereotypes about gender roles. For example, he taught that men and women should share responsibilities in life, including moral growth and practical labor. This idea resonates with today's push for gender equality in the workplace and at home. By advocating for the education of women, Musonius Rufus demonstrated the inclusivity of Stoic philosophy. His teachings remind us that the pursuit of wisdom and virtue transcends social barriers, offering timeless inspiration for a more equitable world. Number 7. The ethics of food. Musonius Rufus believed that how we eat reflects our moral character. To him, food wasn't just sustenance, but a tool for practicing moderation, self-discipline, and gratitude. His teachings on diet are surprisingly relevant in a world grappling with overconsumption and unhealthy habits. He taught that eating simply was not only healthier for the body, but also better for the soul. Elaborate meals, he argued, often lead to indulgence, greed, and a loss of self-control. For example, he advised his students to eat what was necessary for nourishment, avoiding foods that appealed solely to taste. Musonius also connected diet to morality. He believed that consuming excessive or luxurious foods could make us less empathetic and more detached from the struggles of others. His advice was to eat in a way that respects both the environment and the labor of those who produce our food. Today, his teachings can inspire mindful eating practices, such as prioritizing locally sourced, sustainable foods. Musonius challenges us to think about the ethical implications of our choices, reminding us that virtue begins with small, everyday decisions. His views on food extend to gratitude. By eating simply, we learn to appreciate the basics and avoid taking resources for granted. This perspective encourages us to approach each meal with humility and thankfulness, enriching both body and mind. Number 8. Virtue as the ultimate wealth. Musonius Rufus rejected the common Roman obsession with wealth and material possessions. For him, true wealth wasn't measured in gold or property, but in virtue. He argued that material goods are fleeting and unreliable, while virtue provides lasting fulfillment and peace of mind. He often used the example of wealthy individuals who were deeply unhappy despite their riches. Musonius taught that wealth could never bring contentment unless it was paired with a virtuous life. On the other hand, even the poorest person could be truly rich if they possessed wisdom, courage, and self-control. Musonius also warned against the corrupting influence of greed. He believed that an excessive desire for wealth distracts us from our higher purpose and leads to moral compromise. In his view, the pursuit of virtue should always take precedence over financial gain. Modern parallels abound. In a world driven by consumerism, Musonius's teachings remind us that the relentless pursuit of material success often leaves us unfulfilled. Instead, he challenges us to focus on building character, fostering relationships, and contributing to the greater good. His philosophy offers a powerful antidote to modern anxieties about money. By embracing virtue as the ultimate wealth, we can free ourselves from the stress of keeping up with societal expectations and find true contentment in living a principled life. Number 9. Musonius on self-discipline. Self-discipline was a cornerstone of Musonius Rufus's philosophy. He believed that true freedom comes not from indulging every desire, but from mastering them. For Musonius, self-control was the foundation of a virtuous and fulfilling life. He taught that without self-discipline, we become slaves to our impulses. Whether it's overeating, losing our temper, or chasing fleeting pleasures, a lack of control undermines our ability to live virtuously. Musonius compared self-discipline to the reins of a chariot. Without it, we lose direction and crash. One of his most practical teachings was to start small. He encouraged his students to practice self-control in everyday situations, such as eating modestly or waking up early. Over time, These small victories build the mental strength needed to face larger challenges. Modern psychology supports Musonius's insights. Studies show that self-discipline is strongly linked to happiness and success, as it helps us resist short-term temptations in favor of long-term goals. Whether it's saving money, improving health, or mastering a skill, self-control is a key driver of progress. Musonius's teachings on discipline challenge us to ask, are we in control of our desires, or are they controlling us? By practicing self-discipline, we not only achieve our goals, but also cultivate a deeper sense of inner freedom and peace. Number 10. Legacy and lessons for today. Musonius Rufus's legacy may not shine as brightly as that of Seneca or Marcus Aurelius, but his teachings remain a treasure trove of wisdom. His emphasis on practical philosophy, inclusivity, and resilience offers timeless guidance for navigating the complexities of modern life. One of the most enduring lessons from Musonius is his focus on action. He taught that philosophy isn't meant to be read and forgotten. It's meant to be lived. This call to action resonates deeply in an era where theoretical knowledge often overshadows practical application. Musonius also reminds us that adversity is an opportunity. His own life, marked by exile and hardship, demonstrates the transformative power of resilience. Today, his teachings encourage us to face life's challenges with courage and grace, knowing that they can shape us into better individuals. Perhaps most importantly, Musonius challenges us to redefine success. In a world obsessed with wealth, status, and external achievements, he offers a countercultural message. True success lies in virtue, simplicity, and meaningful connections. As we reflect on Musonius Rufus's teachings, we're reminded that the path to a good life is timeless. His wisdom, though ancient, speaks directly to the heart of modern challenges. The question is, are we ready to listen and apply it? If this exploration of Musonius Rufus has inspired you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to help us continue our journey in sharing Stoic wisdom. Which of his teachings resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below.